A 2013 study was conducted looking at implicit weight bias and pictures of stereotype consistent and inconsistent behaviors. Weight bias was present even when individuals weren't participating in stereotypical behaviors.
What is she doing here?
Please, Ralph, she's my mother.
What's that? Your lunchbox? Hey, Rerun, how's Dee's birthday cake coming?
Almost finished.
Ross.
Oh, this is Monica.
Hi, I'm Ross's little sister.
Okay.
My name is Patty. High school was a nightmare.
Fatty Patty's huge.
While my classmates were out losing their virginity, I was at home stuffing another hole.
It smells like bacon.
Every day I wondered, how much more of this can I take? Then it hit me. Now what?
Insatiable is a new Netflix series that's received a lot of backlash and controversy, partially because a lot of people view it as a fat-shaming show. The main character is bullied for being overweight, and she miraculously loses it all in order to get revenge on everyone who made fun of her. The show unfortunately holds up the idea that if you're overweight, you're unattractive, and after her weight loss, the men in the film begin to ogle her and see her as beautiful. The creator of the show defends it by claiming that it's satire. Even if it is satire, do we really need another show that claims that fat people are lazy and unattractive? That satire was lost on the majority of the audience. And isn't there a better way to spark conversation rather than falling back on tired stereotypes? In 2013, another study was conducted on the hireability of overweight people. Researchers doctored images of men and women's faces to appear slightly heavier. The doctored images scored lower on hireability than the original photos. This shows that gaining weight lowers your chances of being hired. Additionally, obese and overweight people who are currently employed are less likely to be promoted or to receive salary increases. A pay gap of 1 to 6% also exists between overweight people and their non-overweight peers. The best way to change this is to become aware of your own bias and to create a workspace that very clearly takes a stance against bias.
I don't really think I've ever been discriminated because of my body type. I think my body is what not has always been, but is currently somewhat the ideal. I'm so skinny. I guess I don't really mind my body. I just don't think I have much definition. When I was younger, I wish I had bigger boobs or a bigger butt or like more curves to my body. As I've gotten older, I haven't really minded because I feel like I can, depending on what I'm wearing, mold my body to how I want it to be. Have a lack of a body. And that's why I can do that, and I can sort of make my body do what I want my body to do, which I think is sort of a privilege for me, being so small. I think it definitely makes my life easier.
I have a complicated relationship with my body. I was always on the heavier side during my childhood, and I was the tallest girl in my class, so I was always a big girl. I struggled to lose weight and maintain healthy habits because of an illness, and I developed a complicated relationship with food and disordered eating. I was the heaviest I'd ever been in high school, but the bullying stopped because I found friends that liked me for me, but I still struggled with body image and had absolutely no self-confidence. My freshman year of college, I lost 20 pounds, and I've lost another 20 since then, totaling 40 pounds since my highest weight and counting. And although I'm healthier and have developed better fitness and eating habits, I haven't necessarily gained the confidence that I need, nor the belief that my body is beautiful no matter my weight or what it looks like.
Every day, I thank God for breathing love and patience into my hand. My jagged imperfections have become soft pebbles in the sand. My curves mimic the curls in waves, and the waves mimic the strength of my body. My curiosities and wonders of life itself float like gentle fish through my mind.
When I was an adolescent girl, I started to feel so bad about my body because at that time I was kind of chubby. And I did some funny things back then. I removed all the pockets on my school uniform because they made me look slightly larger in size. And I insisted not to wear a pair of extra leggings, even though I felt so freezing in a snowy winter. As a Chinese girl, I believe that many of my peers suffer from the same issue, and they also feel pressure to have a certain weight.
I've always been an athlete, competing in various sports throughout high school and college. I've always tried to maintain a healthy lifestyle and even tried a bodybuilding show. Out of all the health-centered activities I've done, I'd say doing a bodybuilding show is the most unhealthy. People always assume everyone on the stages at the expos and in the photos are super healthy and something of a goal they should strive for. But the reality is most people at those shows are beyond unhealthy. To get our bodies to be photo shoot ready without the use of steroids takes months of strict dieting and maintaining a lifestyle centered entirely around an image in the mirror.
It is insane. Can you imagine some people with BMI of 17 but are still criticized for being a little bit fat? Even though I know I'm healthy, not fat at all. I can't help myself by forcing myself to strictly control the weight because my friends keep telling me I'm fatter than before. Look at your face. You used to have a sharp and well-defined face. Where is it now? You can't get any fatter anymore. You should pay attention to your figure. Those comments and judgments surround me all day and all night. I know it's an abnormal aesthetic standard. I know what does the healthy and the normal one looks like. But I just cannot control myself.
And in our society, 50 kilograms is like a measure stick that indicates whether you are slim or not. But that measure stick ignores how much your height is. And for example, my weight stays naturally around 50 kilograms because I am not that high. But many girls higher than me would try to maintain the weight below 50 kilograms because their number is just a socially agreed upon measure.
The object I chose was a pair of headphones. Obviously because of the fact because they're just so skinny. I'm a very skinny person, but I think it's less about being skinny and more about being lanky. They're just they easily get tangled and they're sort of just a mess. And my mom always described me as a slinky. So I think the headphones were just something that just doesn't have any structure, doesn't moves and is slinky and lanky and almost uncontrollable and sort of does what it wants. I feel like my body has a mind of its own.
I chose a bar of soap because I saw a post online of a photo of a girl whose body looked just like mine, and she described herself as looking like a bar of soap. No curves, kind of thick and rectangular and chunky and round. And that image really stuck with me. I don't think I have any curves. I think I just kind of have this big rectangular mass, round mass of body with me all the time. And although I think that's changed, as my body has changed and I've lost the weight, that's the image that's always stuck with me in my mind about my body.
In every corner of this 5-foot unit, I see an ocean of resilience. I dare anyone to litter my loving body by saying I am too small, too full yet too weak, too much of a color they do not want. Remember, the tide always rises higher than you think.
So I choose sour Skittles because it has multiple layers of flavors and you can think of a metaphor out of it. They're topped with a layer of sour sugar that makes it taste so sour for the first few seconds when you put them in your mouth. And it feels so sour every time that you just want to spit it out. But gradually, the sour taste fades out and then all you can feel is sweetness. And at that time, my parents told me that it was just a stage that everyone goes through. They told me to be patient with myself because I will eventually outgrow these problems. And these issues won't be bothering me anymore in the future. And I knew they were right, so I kept being tolerated of the negative thoughts and kept telling me that things will get better. And now looking back, I cannot tell how much I appreciate the advice from my parents.
For my object, I picked a medal because it reminds me how it's not worth it to do this kind of things to your body. You're still dehydrated and feeling like garbage, but you have to smile for photographers and model scouts, and people even pass out on stage because of dehydration and other health issues. These pictures that we do are published in health magazines and on advertisements for health products, but nothing about the process is any bit healthy. And it's crazy how incorrect of a message an image can give.
I need to lose weight, then I can be more slim and confident than before. After restricting my diet, do I become healthy and happier than before? No. I'm obsessed with calorie numbers labeled on the food packaging. Carefully calculate how many calories I intake one day and monitor the numbers on the bath scale. I even think those calorie numbers can represent my body shape. I'm tired of this kind of life anymore. I do not want to do math when I go to the restaurant. I should always remember my confidence and healthy are not offered by others' judgment. They're the power generating from my internal self. Goodbye, losing weight. Never see you again.
During the months of preparation, competitors spend almost no time relaxing, going out with friends, or even enjoying life because everything they do needs to be logged and needs to have a beneficial reason. You become distant from your social life and you become obsessed. Not only that, but it begins to take a psychological toll when you constantly do not feel satisfied. Competitors will use this and they'll call it motivation, that they're never satisfied, that they can keep working. But in reality, it's an unhealthy obsession with every microscopic change in your body. Eventually, your body fat lowers to a point that is supposed to look good, but the body was never made to function with such little fat. So because of this, you lose all energy and can barely walk upstairs without being winded. This gets worse and worse until the few days before the competition when you are on death's door and must begin to binge eat everything possible to fill up the parts of your body you've been depleting. You're encouraged to eat pizza, donuts, candy, and anything else you were grown up and told to avoid. Again, the body's not designed for this.